Go ahead.
Okay. Hey guys, thought we would come to you live today. We are ramping up to get started on another 30-day program, and I thought of coming on and sharing some things with Valerie Edwards and myself. So I have Valerie with me today, who is my friend and colleague in Arbonne, has been for several years now, and we're just here to share a bit of ourselves, a bit of why we got involved, and different things it's done for our life and for our families' lives. And, you know, just wanted to share that with you guys today. And if it's something that resonates with you and something that we could help you with, you know, we'd be happy to do that. So, Val and I met about 8 years ago. She was in town. I think you were visiting Jessica at the time. I think you might have been doing some training with her team. And we sat down and had a chat because Jessica had been, you know, talking to me a little bit about the business. Actually, a few times she had, you know, offered me this opportunity. I think I had been saying the same thing over and over about different things I didn't have money for or things I wish I could do. And, you know, she kept encouraging me to have a look at this opportunity. And I really didn't know what she was talking about, and I had no interest. But she kind of kept on it, so it kind of kept in my head to maybe take a look at it. And she had me try the products at one point, which, you know, I'm a girly girl, like I like makeup and hair, and I usually wouldn't, back then I wouldn't have gone out of the house without makeup on. So anyway, she wanted me to try these products to show me how great they were. And I had no issues with that. I was a little daunted about the size of the package. I was someone who embarrassingly sometimes didn't wash my face before I went to bed at night. So to see, you know, more than one product, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna take too long. And she was like, look, this is gonna take you 1 minute. Your skin is gonna thank you for it. And, you know, just try it. So I was like, okay, what the heck? You know, she was giving me this beautiful kit to try for 3 days in my house at no charge. So really, why would I say no? So after the first night of trying the RE9 kit, I was like really blown away by the difference in my skin, the way it felt, the way it looked. I honestly had never tried a product like that before. So it was kind of like my first aha moment as to that this product line was like so different than anything else I had ever used before. And then it still took me a little bit to, you know, look more at this business side, but I remember, you know, meeting and chatting with Val and just being really impressed and inspired. And then I went to another event with Michelle Brisson where, you know, my maybes and my no's were like quickly turned to a yes. Like so much of that presentation just resonated with so much that I was going through in my own life. You know, years ago, I did do the 9-to-5 job thing, and, you know, I had come out of that and had been on an entrepreneurial path already. I was working for myself doing private home care with special needs, and I was also a dance teacher. So I wasn't in a bad place, really. I was very happy with having a flexible schedule, but it was coming to a place where money was an issue, and I was looking for something, didn't really know what I was going to do. And, you know, this opportunity landed in my lap, and you know, the rest is kind of history. I've been with the company for about 8 years and never looked back. It's been such a great experience, a real blessing in so many ways. And, you know, since then I've moved out of the private home care sector. I'm focusing now on teaching dance and doing Arbonne. And I've also gotten into, you know, planning events, and I've been dabbling in acting and modeling. So just a lot of things that popped up that I wasn't even really expecting. But I think with Arbonne, you start to realize, you know, to really pay attention to what's possible and, you know, things that you've been dreaming about, things of that nature. I've gotten to travel with Valerie on a few different trips and, you know, spend time with her and her home and her family in Paola, Kansas. So that was like so much fun and such a nice thing to be able to do. And I could probably go on forever, but I wanted to give Valerie some time to, you know, share what this has done for, you know, her life and her family and things like that.
Thank you, Dawn. And I'm so blessed to have you not only as a friend, but also as a business partner. And it's been so fun to be able to experience life with you. And we've had so many great memories, belly laughs, and just so thankful for this business because it's brought me such incredible friends like you. So just a little bit about my background. I've been with Arbonne 17 years, started in March of 2002. At the time, had a 1 to 3 year old daughter, was running a licensed daycare business in my home, had 8 kids that I watched, plus my 2, so 10 kids in my home, 5 days a week, 12 hours a day. I did that for 3.5 years and found myself, like many people do, someday my life away, living paycheck to paycheck, saying things like, well, someday when, my kids get older, I'll go back to college, finish up my degree. And, I had big dreams for my family. I wanted to be able to save for vacations and college and all of those things. But we, like many, young married couples do, we had got a home that we were really stretching ourselves to get into. We were living paycheck to paycheck. I've been married to my husband since I was 19. So we've been together 26 years, married for 23. And, in a small town, you're kind of taught, go to high school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job. Like that's the path that you're taught. And, for me, because I got married so young and, had my children at 21 and 23, I just assumed my path would kind of start when they went to school full time. But I had struggled with acne, basically from the time I was in middle school and on. That was how I was introduced to Arbonne. Was invited to a presentation, heard the whole presentation, kind of sat there with my arms crossed, very skeptical. But after trying the product and hearing the Arbonne difference, that's what really blew me away. I knew right away I was sold on product. Purchased the whole skincare system, wrote it in my checkbook as Walmart, so it kind of blended into my checkbook with all my other expenses for my daycare business. Had no interest at all in the business. I was too busy, I thought. I was a cheer coach. I have this whole list of things that I did, and I just didn't see myself doing something like that because I'm not a salesperson. I didn't know a ton of people. Everyone I knew were basically in my income bracket or below. So, to think that I could ever build a business that could one day grow into a multi-million-dollar a month global business is not something that I was even thinking about. But I'm one of those people, if I love something, it's just really easy for me to share. And that's exactly what happened. I ended up sending some of my friends and family to the gal that introduced me to Arbonne. And from that, I ended up hosting an event in my home just to earn some product for free. And then that evening at my very first presentation I hosted for her, I ended up making the decision that night to sign up as a consultant myself because I had 5 people want to start their own Arbonne business. And that's really what kind of started my journey with Arbonne. Within 4 months, matched my daycare income. I was paying our family's mortgage payment 4 months into my business. My not supportive husband became a little bit more supportive then. 18 months into my business, became a vice president. And I thought the only way that I could ever make a 6-figure income is if I went to college and became a doctor, But to be able to be in a position I was 26 when I was a vice president making 6 figures without a college degree. This business is definitely for anyone of any professional background, any age, any gender, anywhere in the world. Honestly, if you live in any of the countries where Arbonne is sold in, within 18 months of starting my business, I became a vice president. A year later, became a national vice president. And so I'm celebrating 17 years this year, and it has been life-changing. I mean, probably the biggest life change is, just the fact that I was able to complete our family through international adoption. We've been able to travel the world. We've been able to give back. I was able to start a nonprofit that, funded the orphanage where my son lived. And then since then, it's grown into so much bigger. So this business has definitely, far exceeded any expectations that I had. The person I am today at 42 years old is not who I was at age 25. And I love the relationships that I have been able to build all over the world because of this business. So it's definitely been life-changing for sure. Mm-hmm. What would you say would be the most life-changing thing, or the best thing about this business that Arbonne has blessed you with or given to you?
Well, the things that kind of, like you said, like I didn't know what happened. Like when they say that this company is a personal development company, wrapped in a skincare company, I feel like that's so true. And I feel like the personal development has been just it's such a blessing. It's almost hard to put it into words, but it's things that, you know, help you with your confidence, your self-esteem, even just public speaking. I mean, that's something that people really fear. I remember in school, like I would take a 0 if I had to get up and speak, you know, so it's been a process to, I mean, I was doing some before I started Arbonne, but I feel like this just keeps bringing out more and more just passion and confidence and things like that, which I think is, you know, a real gift. And just like seeing what's possible, like all the different dreams that I've seen come true, you know, including my own, and the travel. Like I've always loved travel, and like I grew up in a family that the only trips we took were to Cape Breton Island in Canada. Like we didn't leave the country, you know, we didn't go too many places, which I would never complain about that. Like I loved those trips, but as I got older, I was just, you know, I was watching other people, you know, going all these different places, and I thought, oh, you know, that's like, I want to do that. So, you know, the extra travel that I've done while I've been in business has been, you know, so exciting. And like you were saying about, you know, friends and meeting friends all over the world. Like I have some of my, you know, dear friends now who are in the US, and I've gone to visit them and work with them. And the fact that you can write off your trips as well is a really neat perk. So that's kind of fun. And I think the reward and recognition, like being recognized and praised, you know, for a job well done, no matter where you're at in your journey, is, I think, something that, you know, people don't get in a lot of other types of work environments. So that in itself is just such a beautiful gift. So I would say those things for sure. And I was wanting to ask you, Val, like, what do you think, like what most people tend to get involved in this business? What type of people? Or
you know, I think that a lot of times people are looking for something, either whether it be personal development, the relationships that we're talking about, community, being a part of something, fun, having fun and loving what they do. You know, I think the easy answer is that people want more time freedom and financial freedom. That part is the given. I mean, who doesn't want more time with the ones they love? We're in the middle of, you know, my grandpa just this morning, I was told he's going into a hospice house officially today. You know, and I was able to just cancel a trip last minute I had scheduled, you know, to Oregon last Thursday, and to be able to just drop everything and go and say, okay, I'm going to go be with my grandpa, and to be able to be present. I mean, to be able to do that for my best friend who's going through cancer treatments, and, you know, the gift of time, you know, to be able to have the gift of finances and not have to worry constantly about where, you know, the money's going to come from to pay the basic necessities. You know, when I was 33, I had a stroke in the middle of an Arbonne presentation and was life flighted to the Cleveland Clinic, and, you know, luckily recovered, but had to go home. You know, went home and literally for 3 months couldn't do anything, couldn't work my business, couldn't do anything. A few years prior, my husband had quit his job. It had been a full-time, you know, stay-at-home dad, supporting my business, helping with the kids. And luckily I had an Arbonne business that supported our family during that time. It took care of my family financially. It took care of us having the ability for my husband to have the time freedom to be home and care for me and care for my children. And so, you know, we always say in Arbonne that, you know, that you need to prepare for impact, or what are you doing to prepare for impact? And I think so often people just live paycheck to paycheck. They're so busy with their day-to-day life that they don't stop to be still enough to think outside of, well, what would happen if this happens? People aren't preparing for impact. You know, I've got two in-laws that are 80 plus, and, you know, we're having to think about long-term, you know, in the future with them. And I've found out, not only through my grandparent situation, but my in-law situation, that so many people have just spent their life taking care of what they have to right there, or right then, that they're not thinking about, you know, the future and, you know, how they're going to be able to take care of things if something were to happen. And so I would say, like, the biggest thing that people are looking for in this kind of a business is the time freedom, the financial freedom, you know, the community, the culture. And then on top of that, like, the amazing products, you know, because, you know, to me, I feel like that's a huge draw to this business, at least for me. I think it was for you too, was the products initially.
Yeah.
You know, what would you say out of all the product lines you would find is like your favorite one, the one that you know, promote the most or use the most?
Well, it's funny because like I use everything, so sometimes it's a bit hard to pick, but I would have to say the RE9 because that was the first one I ever tried that, it blew me away instantly and it's never let me down since. Like I use it every day and night and I'm always like catching myself kind of touching my skin and just always being so amazed like how soft it is, how the texture's changed, how like I get so many compliments and things like that. But I'm also a huge fan of the nutrition line, of course. And I think, before Arbonne, I was, a health and wellness advocate already. It was a big interest of mine. And I was always like learning and kind of digging about, different things that we could do to look after ourselves, to make life more enjoyable and aging gracefully and things like that. So the 30-day program has been like really amazing to watch all the testimonies and even to see for myself like the changes I feel when I'm following the program and then incorporating new habits into my lifestyle. So probably those two for sure. Yeah.
I would agree. I'm kind of with you on both of those. You had said that we have our new 30-day, every month we do kind of a 30-day challenge, actually twice a month. Many of our team members will lead programs to help coach new clients through a 30-day program. We have one coming up. Do you want to talk just a little bit about that and what that looks like?
Yeah, for sure. So another sideline and I are leading a group starting next Monday. And basically we're going to do daily posts of, what you're going to follow through this program. And we give you, recipes and support and ideas. And it's a great way for people to just, band together and do this together so that it sets you up for success, which is amazing. And yes, we're going to start that on Monday. And we're going to help people get set up this week if they don't already have their kits. And basically what this is going to do, so we do like a clean eating program. That's the main part of it. And then we show you how to incorporate our nutrition supplements for nutrient uptake to help you with sugar cravings. That's a huge one for me. All the great recipes for meals and desserts, which these are the things that are going to help you stay on track for eating the proper foods that are going to help clean out your body, remove the toxins, and that's what's going to help make you feel better. So a lot of people who, suffer from, bloat or they're tired or poor sleep, mood swings, acne, joint pain, stiffness, so many different things. When we clean out our body, these things improve. So to see people go, oh my gosh, like I've never felt this good. I feel my head feels more clear. My gut feels better. I've lost weight. These are the types of things you can expect to experience on this type of program. So I'm excited to do the next round.
Awesome. I love the 30-day. I want to say a couple of years ago when I turned 40, I made the commitment to really get healthy. I've always had issues kind of in my head more so with my weight, my body image and things like that. And that's one of the things for me that I'm so passionate about with this program is it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I made the commitment to get healthy and, I wasn't overweight. I wasn't obese. I was fluffy. I was fluffy and fluffy. And, now learning, what I have through the program, I realized that so many of the foods that I was eating previously were not serving my body. They were causing inflammation. So where I was feeling not so good about myself, and I was feeling fat, it was so much of it was inflammation, by just, exchanging the foods that I used to eat for foods that serve my body and, making healthier choices. And it's not like our Arbonne 30-day package program is like this magic, thing that you're going to take and you're going to lose all this weight. It's what it's doing is it's teaching, people to be able to start some healthier habits, to exchange, foods that they used to eat and with foods that we know that are good, that are rich, in vitamins and protein and the things that our body needs to be able to function at its optimal best. So I love the 30-day program. I'm with you. I love the anti-aging. I've been using anti-aging for 16 years, but with Arbonne 17. And so I'm the same. I get comments all the time on my skin and what you put in your body affects your skin. So what you put in your body affects your skin. What you put on your skin is going to affect the inside. So Arbonne's really just about health and wellness from the inside out. So I love that.
Yeah, me too. Really good. So, well, thank you so much for your time today, Val. So, anyone who's watching this and listening, if, any of this resonates with you and we can help you out in some way, whether it be, the skincare, the nutrition, the 30-day program, if anything about the business side resonates with you, we're happy to answer questions at any time. You can reach out to us. And I just wanted to thank Val for her time today for the chat. And we will be chatting and seeing you soon.
Absolutely. So great to talk with you. Bye, Dawn.
Okay, take care.
Bye, honey.
Bye.